2:02 a.m. Dr. Thomas Wilson sat across from Gita. On the table between them were 2 half-eaten bowls of the meal she had prepared earlier for Austin and Angelique. They were not very hungry, so the soup had gone cold. "We should have heard something by now," Gita said. Thomas was worried too, but knew they needed some kind of distraction. He looked into her beautiful eyes. "Everything will be fine, my dear. Would you mind answering some questions? That way we could pass the time until we hear from them." Gita sighed. "You deserve answers, Thomas. No more lies. I don't understand why you're being so forgiving of me after what I've done. You were protecting your people, your family. How can I blame you for that? But I stole your specimens you worked so hard on. I kept you from proving your life's work. I understand why you did what you did. I suppose I always suspected the world teetered on a precarious tipping point. I just never knew that the species I was hunting for was keeping it in balance, saving humankind from self-destruction. Were your people involved in taking the headless mummy and destroying the research in Guatemala?" "No, that was the Brotherhood of Purity, Morvicti Orthodox fanatics. They operate outside our laws in secret." "And what about China? My friend died in that fire." "That was an accident. He wasn't supposed to be there." "What else, Gita?" "No one broke into the lab today. I was responsible for that too. I took Nancy and Gail's fingers." "That's a relief to know." Her lower lip quivered. "Prior to the last 24 hours, your lab received samples with Morvicti DNA 7 times throughout the years. I destroyed them all." He took a deep drag on his pipe. 7 times. "The young tech I fired who had the neighbor with the genetic markers I was searching for?" She nodded. "I sacked that poor man, Gita." He laughed, recalling how careless the tech had been over the short time he'd been in his employ. Gita's robbery, while thwarting his research, had given support to letting the lad go. "You should be ashamed of yourself," he said with a grin. "I am ashamed, Thomas. Deeply ashamed. I saw you working so hard, being ridiculed by your peers. It is the worst thing I've ever had to do." Her eyes welled up. "I hope you can forgive me." He reached across the table and took her hands. "Let me have a look at your palms, Gita." As a tear fell from each eye, she complied. He kissed her pale violet palms. "These are the most beautiful hands in the world to me, my darling. I forgive you. Every crime you committed against me." He leaned back in his chair. "It is good to know that I was not delusional, and that my work had real merit. The truth is, I've been in love with you for years. Foolish, I know, but true. And I've been in love with you, Thomas." She came around the table and touched his cheek. "That brusque exterior you present to everyone is just a facade. You have the biggest heart of anyone I know. I'm too old for you, my love. Actually, it's the other way around, Thomas." She pressed her soft lips to his. When they ended their kiss, he squeezed her hands. "So you're not Polish, with a little Spanish mixed in. I guess I can live with that. I can also live with shutting my lab down, ending my work. I know the truth, and that's enough for me. But what happens now, Gita? What will your people do to me? I'm a human, and I know their secrets." "I don't know. But I do know I love you, and I won't let them hurt you. I swear." He kissed her, realizing as much as she wanted to protect him, she probably could not. Whatever fate awaited him, he would face it on his own. He didn't want to put her in jeopardy with her people. The phone rang. Gita grabbed the receiver. "Hello? It's Angelique, Thomas. Yes, of course. Thank the ancestors. Goodbye." A smile spread across her beautiful face, and she clapped her hands together. "The Reaper has been taken. Angelique and Austin are safe. So is Michael." "Octavian and Poole?" "Everyone is coming here." With a big smile on her face, she nodded, standing. "No one has eaten in hours. I'm going to warm up the soup." Feeling younger than he had in years, he leapt from his chair. "And I'm going to help." 2:36 a.m. Outside Dr. Wilson's home, with the help of his son, Octavian hoisted the traitor's body next to the Ripper's into the limo's boot. He looked down at the 2 unmoving forms of David Bathory and Jack, lying side by side. He slammed the lid down and turned to Belisarius and Austin. "That job is done, Majesty," Belisarius said. "Just one of many tasks I must complete before the sunrise." Austin stared at him. He hadn't said a word since leaving Murphy Street. Octavian understood his silence. He wasn't sure where to begin, so he had remained quiet too. There was so much to say. The first thing he wanted to tell Austin and Angelique was about their mother. My sweet Catherine, I swear I won't let anything happen to our children. But how was he going to keep his promise now? Another text from Darius. Belisarius looked up from his mobile phone. He says the council ended the session and will reconvene at your direction, Octavian. They are pleased that both David Bathory and Jack are no longer threats. Darius can't wait to shake Austin and Michael's hands. Duke Vale will get his chance when I convene the council. Octavian wasn't sure how to reveal to the nobles what had transpired the past 24 hours, but he needed to come up with something fast. Saying the wrong thing had consequences for Dr. Wilson, Michael, Gita, and even for Austin and Angelique. It was vital to choose his words carefully. Who wants to shake my hand? Austin asked. You know him as Senator Shaw, Belisarius answered, for saving his nephew in Iraq back in 2003. The senator is Morvicti? Yes, his real name is Darius Vale. That's why we were on that mission, Octavian. To save one of your people. Our people, Austin. He decided not to press that fact just yet when he saw the look on Austin's face. I regretted having to send our team to extract Darius's nephew, but I had no other choice. We were the best. Of course, that's why I got shot. Austin shook his head, and I thought I was serving my country. Turns out I was serving the Morvicti. His son's indignation was evident with every word. How far up does your power go, Octavian? Do you have every world leader in your pocket? Austin didn't wait for him to answer, but turned and walked back inside Wilson's house. More than anything, Octavian wanted to talk to him to clear up the misunderstandings, but knew now was not the ideal time. Austin and Angelique had gone through so much and needed rest. After that, he would sit down with them for a long overdue discussion. Gita came out. Dinner is served, gentlemen. Octavian placed a hand on her shoulder. None for us, I'm afraid. Belisarius and I have much work to do. Yes, Majesty. Gita lowered her eyes. For once, the gesture did not seem to come out of deference, but vulnerability. Please help me save Thomas, Octavian. He's a good man. Yes, he is. And you love him, don't you? She nodded and confessed. I do. He placed one hand, gently, on her shoulder, and with the other hand lifted up her chin to look him in the eyes. I'll do what I can that is within my power, Gita. She smiled weakly, and a little bit of the fire came back in her eyes. It's long past time the Morvicti put aside our savagery. Your children are incredible and deserve every right that any pure blood is given. The love that Thomas and I share is just as valid as any other and should be celebrated, Octavian, not hidden. Change comes slowly with our kind. In every bloodline, including ours, there are those who resist progress. Many, like David Bathory, wish to return to the old orthodoxy. She frowned. Eating human flesh, but that is against our laws. So is beheading our own. But tomorrow, I will plead for that rule to be set aside. He kissed her on the cheek. Tell my children to get some rest. But we must face the Imperial Morvicti Council, Octavian. All of us. Don't they deserve to know that? They need a trouble-free sleep first. I'll give them the answers they are entitled to after they've rested. Yes, Your Majesty, your will is my duty. Always. That was something else he wanted to change. The words indicated the king had absolute power, which hadn't been a reality in more than 1,000 years. Though he believed in the more democratic nature of the Morvicti ruling body as a practice, this was one time he wished the other lords would have to bow to his will without question, not only in words, but in deeds. But the questions would come. He needed to figure out answers. I won't lose Austin and Angelique again. 10:51 a.m. Austin opened his eyes and kicked off the sheet. He'd had a dreamless sleep and felt fully rested. Good thing, since day 2 of this nightmare of mine is starting. He stepped out of the bed, realizing how different this space was from Murphy Street. He could see the morning light and blue sky through the window. It was going to be a beautiful London day. On the table next to the bed were fresh flowers Gita had placed there when she'd brought him to the room. Doc Wilson's guest quarters were warm and inviting. No headless corpses at your feet to worry about. But there were plenty of other things to worry about. The Morvicti for one, his biological father for another. But the most important person he was concerned for was his sister. Angelique had proven how capable she was in the face of impossible odds. He was extremely proud of her. But her future, along with theirs, was uncertain. He stepped in the shower of the ensuite bathroom, thinking about the Morvicti. They were everywhere and did everything in their power to keep their existence secret. Now that their secret was out, what would they do? Angelique and Michael had left for their flat soon after finishing Gita's delicious soup. Since he'd seen David Bathory and Jack stuffed into the trunk of Octavian's limo, he hadn't been concerned with them leaving. He'd accepted Doc's offer to stay the night, knowing Angelique and Michael needed time alone together. He heard the door to the bedroom open. His training kicked in. Silently, he stepped out of the shower and took the Glock from the sink's counter where he had placed it. He opened the bathroom door. Gita gasped. "Sorry to disturb you. Just laying these clothes out for you. I'll be leaving now." He grabbed a towel and wrapped it around his waist. "No, I'm the one who is sorry, Gita. Old habit. I expect the worst and hope for the best. Thank you." She handed him a newspaper. "I had to destroy your suit." "The blood." She nodded. He glanced down at the headline. "Ripper kills father and son at St. Patrick's Cemetery." Poor guys. "Your sister and brother-in-law just arrived, and your father called. He's on his way. I've prepared breakfast." "I'll be there in a few minutes." Gita left. Austin was more than a bit surprised. For a woman who was basically as near death as her species could get, she had been able to get the household back up and running normally in only hours. He finished getting ready. Another suit, and again the fit was perfect. He looked at himself in the full-length mirror. "You're a civilian, McCord. Former SEAL. Get used to it." If it hadn't been for the genes he'd received from Octavian, he would not be a civilian or a SEAL, former or active. He would be dead. One more look, and he stepped out of the bedroom. He joined everyone on the sofas, glancing at the table, which was filled with more of Gita's delicious food. Not your typical American breakfast of cereal or waffles. She'd prepared quite the substantial spread of smoked sausages, cold cuts, fresh fruits and vegetables, cheeses, and a mountain of pastries and breads with several jams and jellies. "I can offer you coffee or tea, Austin," Gita said. "Which would you prefer?" "Black coffee, thank you." She poured him a cup. "Thomas, I just started a new pot of English breakfast. May I refresh your cup?" He smiled and grabbed her hand. "I would love more, sweetheart." Gita grinned and returned to the kitchen. He leaned over and whispered to Angelique, who was holding Michael's hand. "What's going on with those two?" "I may be old, but my hearing is quite good, Austin." Doc chuckled. "One good thing that came out of this craziness yesterday was that Gita and I finally professed our love to one another. Nothing like almost losing someone to throw into sharp relief what is truly important." "Good for you, Doc," Michael said. "Being with the love of my life is the best thing that ever happened to me, and I'm sure it will be for you too. It already has been." "Hey, Doc," Austin said, feeling his stomach roll. "Not to be rude, but why aren't we eating? I'm starving." "Gita asked that we wait for Octavian." "Of course she did. He's her king." "How did you sleep?" Angelique asked him. He smiled. "Like the dead." Doc Wilson burst out laughing, and everyone joined in. Gita returned with 2 pots, one with tea and the other with coffee. She refilled everyone's cups. The doorbell rang. Thanks for watching Morvicti Blood, Episode 29, After the Ripper Falls. I hope you'll like and share and subscribe and hit the notification bell. New episodes are dropping every Monday and Friday. But if you want more now and haven't watched the full 8-part sequel, Morvicti Execution, it's already live. Start there to witness the betrayal that set everything in motion. Want to read ahead and uncover secrets not yet shown on screen? The full novel, Morvicti Blood, is available now on Amazon. You'll find the link in the description if you dare. I hope you'll leave a comment. What do you think? What creeped you out? Who do you think survives? I'm going to read every comment, and I'm going to try to answer every comment or question that you have. For early access, bonus episodes, and forbidden lore, join our inner circle, Bloodbound, at patreon.com/Lee Swift. Until next time, keep your lights on, stay quiet, and whatever you do, don't answer the knock at your door.